see that fire? Did you see that yellow fire? It was orange, it was yellow, but it was all promoted by red, because you can't make the orange without the red. We don't see the red. Why don't we see it? What don't we see? And why I'm talking about this is all because of the rainbow. What I'm going to try to do today, I found something that you all might like, is I'm going to try to show you how the colors of the rainbow came to be and how come they're lined up all the time the same way. At the same time, I can show you about a cute little design I made. And you know what, today I was busy at, I went out, so I wrote a little bit everywhere. And I can't possibly tell you all this information because I never write it straight. And it comes in so fast. But when you're doing a job and it comes in, you have 600 wires in front of you. You do one at a time, okay? But the wires that are in front of me, there is no passage but in my own mind. So unless I take care of the passage in my mind at the moment, okay, whatever else is there must be written down or put somewhere very quickly, okay? Because you can't be at two places at the same time. That's ridiculous. So you arrange it so that somehow there's an element that connects you to both places at the same time. Somehow we can do it, okay? There is a sign that says never say never. Well, you can't actually ever say ever, because you know what? When something's coming down, it's coming from up. When something's on the right and you bring it to the left, you brought it to the left, but it's no longer on the right. But it had to come to the right, or if it didn't come to the right from the right, it came from the left. So it already came from the left first to the right. You follow me? We're all divided by this nose. You see, you have to cut this off and this, and that would make one part of the tic-tac-toe, and you cut this off and this, and that makes the other part of the tic-tac-toe. I'm going to show you, you see, we use 9 spots on a dice. We have 6 sides, but we don't use them that way, okay? But everything happens on a dice, okay, gets angled to the center of this cube, because it's the center where the electronic world is. The rainbow, as you see on here, is all the way around. So how do I align a rainbow and see all 7 colors? Well, I'm going to work on that. What I would like you to do, and I never ask this from anybody, is please press like, so it's going to encourage me that when I do it, I'm going to look for more. It comes in, so I know if I just work on the rainbow, I'm just going to get it. Not only the rainbow, but man's body in cards. How the cards created our body, what each card did and how come. And the suit, the queen, the jack, and the king. The relation, queen, jack, king, and the relation to the ace. What the ace is all about, and why the ace has a value of 1, because God was the first angel, okay? And how the ace has a value of 11, okay? Because it had the value of 11 because what happened is when they created the electronic world, this world, everything became 10-10. It was the ace that created the 11. That's why in blackjack, okay, all picture cards and 10 has the same relation, because it's the one spirit that had to connect everything, regardless how it got to 10. The 10 is a 10 regardless. The 10 is an expression card of all first 9s, okay, because sometimes we start at 0, but we sort of have to end at 0, because now we're telling everything that was below it, okay? We start at 0, we go to 9, now we know 0 to 9, and the 10 is an explanation of 0 to 9, which, in that instance, is going to give you 11, but you're only getting 11 of 9, because you're counting 1 to 9, but you're starting at 0, and ending at 10, and giving an expression. At the beginning, you're saying, I start. So you don't put 0, I start. Okay, just saying I start. I is the start. Okay, and you get the 10 is I finish. So you have 1 at the end with the 0. I finish. Everything ends at 0. It's the point. It's all gotten to that point of the ending. Okay, so I start, I finish, and wow, we're in the beta world. I start, I finish. I don't remember what I was at. Anyways, I'm going to show you one of the ways we got the ram's horns. Okay, one of the ways we got the ram's horns, or the Texas. I'm not finished with this design, but Red Bull over here, number 1 on the phone, okay, doesn't do this connection over here. The connection he does okay, is this connection over here. The top closes, okay? So I'm going to close the top here, okay? I'm going to close the top, and after I close the top, I'm going to explain why I close the top, okay? This side and this side, 1 and 3 on your phone, there is no 2, 4, 6, 8. This is before God, anything happened. So he came here, he went up, and he went down here, because he knows when you go up and down like shark teeth, right, you create the diamond-like shapes, they cross over each other, and you can have a lot of transfer points. So everything's crisscross, okay? That's why Christopher Cross came out and sang that song, Sailing, Take Me Away to Where, because the sails are on an angle. It cuts through the wind. Rather than pushing it all the way, it slices through it. Although you don't see it, that's the action that takes place. Why do I know a little bit about everything? Because I always had something to say about everything, and I'm always looking into how everything works, because I just want to understand. That's all. For my own mind. Let me be. So now what happens, okay, is you have now 3 and 1. We're working together, okay? Now they work together up here, and they create the 2 in between, okay? So now I'm going to show you how they create the 2 in between. Okay, they create the 2 in between because 1 and 3 is 4. The average is 2. So the 1 spirit and the 3 parts of creation, which is a 4 angle, which is on all the cards from 4 till 10, you'll see the 4 angle. So the 1 and 3, okay. Now the 2, she has to go down, okay. You have a corner 7 up, and now there's 7 down. The up is when they were connecting, okay, but beta goes down. God is 7 up, beta, okay, beta is 7 down, okay, because one of the reasons is because here's the 2, but below this 2 is a 5 position, below the 2. 5 and 2 make 7. Below on the 2 on your phone, okay, is the 5 position. That's the middle of all keys. So beta has to go from here down to 5 in order, okay, now I'm going to put a V up after this, to give light, take life from 1 and 3, create life. Now the reasons there's no moons on Mercury is because, like I said, the 1 went up all the way to 3, okay, to make creation. The 2 was made by the creation in 3 and placed here. We no longer needed the 1 anymore. The 3 was a corner, and it's only the corners, okay, the corners of creation right here, okay, that can do anything. So beta, Venus, doesn't have a moon. So now the creation, Earth, needs 1 moon. So this is how it all starts, okay. Now you need a place for the angels. You have them sitting here in Mars. You got 2 moons, because the Mars has to extend to Earth, okay, to discuss with us, and they have to go the same time up to here to discuss with the father planet. So that's why Mars has 2 moons. Now Jupiter has 63 moons, because Jupiter has to connect everywhere through beta into the 4 corners of God, and into the 4 corners of beta, and into the 4 corners in the center of man, totaling 7 times 9, 63. Why 7 times 9? Because we don't count the 2 here, or we don't count the 8, and we don't count the 4. We don't count, we're always not counting 1. We count the 6, we don't need to count the 4, because we know it's the opposite, and it's the 4 angles of expression. It's the 1 spirit that connects. Anyways, this is the reason for this in the moons. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did I do anything else today? Jesus Christ. Hold on a second. Let me see. Yeah, I gotta take my pants off. I just feel something in my pants. They told me I think like shit. I'm full of shit, so I may as well put my pants on my head, no? Oh, here it is. Yes. You see, this is what I was working on today. That's on my pants, okay? What I'm showing you over here, is it over here? You see over here? When the crisscross comes, okay, they're not attached to anything. So a circle goes around this, okay? And that circle, okay, is blackened out because all the lines have absolutely no slack. When there shows no slack, okay, the circles become dark that connect us together. Now all these lines in tic-tac-toe is showing you only one part of the setup of the matrix, okay? It's only one little cutout picture that I'm designing for you. So all of them are connected, okay? They go down this way, it goes this way, it goes this way, and I'm trying to show you, I'm going to try and show you how the queen, jack, king, ace, and 10 all relate to everything. In fact, if you add up 10 until king and then ace, you have 10, 20, you have 10, 21, 33, Jesus Christ. Once the queen comes in, you got Jesus Christ. Okay? Then once the king comes in, which shows the supper plate, okay, you have 47, which means time. It's 4 corners, 7 God, 4 corners, 7 by 4, 28, which makes the beta heaven. And then once you have the ace that comes in, you have 14, and 13 is 27, and 12 is 39, 49, 50 with the jack, and 60 with the 10 of explanation. But the 9 lives of the cat end at 50, because we're not explaining. It ends at 50. And going through all the cycles, it ends, well actually it ended already in 2000 or 1998, but the cycle has to finish off with 17 years, or 16 years, excuse me. It was 1998 plus 16, 1776 plus 16 equals 1792 to 2014 is 222 years. What I'm trying to show you now is our time ended in 1998. That's why you heard those 2 songs about 1999 and 2000, because 1999 is the spirit release connection, which is to New York City, and in the year 2000 is beta. You're on free parking. It all begins. Now we're into the real true heart of light, which 16 years later from 1998 ends in 2014. Now, if you want to go to the spirit of 76, when the U.S. came into independence, okay, I don't know if you remember in any of the videos how I showed you, how roulette shows you about the independence of the United States, and it shows you the cycles. Well, once the independence gives you your freedom, okay, you need 16 years for that freedom to pass. I don't know why, if anybody knows anything about 16, but 16 means the one spirit of man, which means 17. Okay, which means 18, 19, 20, 21, because the ace always carries to 11, so you continue on. So 1776 plus 16 years, okay, is 1792, plus 1/8, one direction, one part of the pi of 8. The pi of 8, because all the pies are 8. Because the 9th one is in the center, it's the core, it's area 51, it's the 5 key on the telephone. It's what they call the 14th in Rubik's Cube, but it's actually a cross that's in Rubik's Cube. And it's not actually the 14th, I don't know what they call that. But if you do come from Rubik's Cube and you know, tell me anything you want about Rubik's Cube, we can work on this together, maybe we'll design something else. All the designs are in the matrix. It's a super bank computer, I call it Super Train 55, coming here for the freedom of man within the next 3 years. Anyways, 1998, or from 2014 backwards 16 years, is 1998. My son is born 7 years before that, equals to 23 creation. I become the age of 51, which puts me in the center spot. The trains are meeting. All the trains line up between Pennsylvania, reading B and O. They all line up on the 2468 original angle when we first started. That's the reason for 25, 625, because both quarters of the angle of the angle of the angel are now back in 4 and 6 or 9 and 3 positions. 9 on the clock and 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. The clock positions change it for 4 parts of the day, 90 degrees. Change it for hours. This arm and this arm is 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Change it for the 24-hour clock. They all have a description. God didn't leave anything out, because if he left something else out, it wouldn't ride in the matrix. If you build something and you can't deliver it, what good is building it? Okay? So all the information and what goes through the matrix, okay, is what can go through the matrix. The rest is hands-on by man's creation. We advance, God advances, okay? Because God has reached a point in his advancement, is when it's all the conscience, because he knows everything the conscience can do, because if you have no arms and legs, then what are you living for, right? No. If you've got the conscience, you can do everything you want. And the hands and legs will only come to do what? Absolutely nothing. We get a microphone today, we push it with our chin. How much more than we need to be, but ahead. And we're just all ahead. And if you want to know why not B4, because B4, the existence of B4 only came when A, C, D were created. AC/DC. The creation of AC/DC is because A created AC/DC is because A created the D angle. Okay, with the D angle, with the C, A and C created the D angle. Okay, then D, C, and D created the B angle. So AC created one thing, and then DC, which is the beta angel. You see, they both use the C, right? But the D is the fourth letter, it's an even number, and the A is an odd number, but the A stands alone. All alone. He's his own trinity. Anyways, I'm going to show you a different mark of trinity, which is the long-handled ace, which is the big nose of beta. The big nose of beta starts like this. The 2 is up here, 7 on this side, 9 on that side. The reason I stretched it out in this design, and I usually don't, is because of the pi 8. The pi 8 means is she's now taking over the world from up above, all the way down, right to the bottom. Everything passes through her, and with everything that needs to pass into our world, before it gets to our world, it'll pass through the beta world. So there's 2 worlds passing through the beta world, okay, our world and their world, and the spirit world, and you have the 4 marks on the cards. So I showed you that on my pants. I mean, I didn't write for nothing. And yeah, we did that. Now, where are my pens? Oh yes, this does design. Hey man, when it's in there, you gotta write it. If none of my stuff makes sense, tell me it makes no sense. I'll check it out, and maybe I'll just stop the whole thing. Okay. But for me, oh my God, have you ever seen the dead people? Let me show you the dead people. Let me show you. I'm going to lose everything in my pocket. This is the dead. Okay. Do I have to do that more? Okay. The reason it's the dead is because the beta becomes the alpha in this world. Okay. Then it's the electronic world below it that she controls. She's the 2 position in Area 51, controlling the 5 to the exit of all the other 8 worlds. And on the bottom, it's the D. It's the D because it's the 4 angles that I'm covering. I didn't put it anywhere else because it goes up and down, north and south, and it is in the center. It's the only time the 4 angles can talk is when they're in the center. Okay? They only talk from the center. Everything talks from the center. It's the 4 corners that get everything into the center for creation, and that's the way they talk. So you have EAD, but I showed you a line. You see the line that goes around? Well, that's a racetrack. You go around and around and around. So in all actuality, you're going DEAD, 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 DEAD. Angel, okay, in the E world. Angel in the E world. So it is. D is the angle of the angel in the E world. Angle, angel, E world, divide. David and Goliath. That's where we're at tonight. Doesn't stop. Doesn't stop. I said I'm going to show you the rainbow. I told you why 2004. Did I tell you why back in black? Because I'm thinking that in the heavens we gain our true colors in the heavens. Okay? And the true colors that we gain are that we're all the elements of matrix in us. We're not in this body anymore. We're in some kind of gel suit of some sort. And we show all our colors. So in order to show all colors, what's better to have in front of you than no light? Okay? We're like glow in the dark, okay? And color. Black and colors, because it sticks out. Halloween, orange and black, only because they wanted to show the orange angel. The black represents showing off that angel. The angel you don't see, it's the ghost inside your head. The G host. The J host. That's why they jostle when they're with the knights for the J house. Took off my pants. The other thing I want to show you is one little part of what I designed based on the numbers. This design is based on the numbers. Okay, you have the center, you have the left, and you have the right. Angel 1, angel 2. Tail on one, tail on the other one. Wait, where's the tail on the middle one? Well, she's facing you, number 1. You can't see her tail. And number 2, It's from under her nose, because it's this side 1, okay? Creation of God is on the left, and on the right is the creation of man. God's on your left side, if anybody wants to know. That's what I think, okay? But anyways, that side is closed anyways, okay? Jesus in the Last Supper, he was putting it on this side, okay? Because this side is closed. Anyways, she has no tail because she starts at the nose. The beta world starts at the nose. And her tails are her mustache, holding the other 2 up, holding the 2 children up. So she's like the penis in the center with the 2 balls on each side with that mustache holding her up, and that's for prostate cancer. That's what it must mean, because that's the way the numbers come out. Designing by number, do you think they said designing by number for nothing? When you put those numbers in the right position and block the box is when the wires pass by, okay? The vision of what's left over is now chop blocked. Now if you color in, okay, the spaces in between, you're coloring in the background. Everything you see as lines is the actual image. You're coloring the background of the interior of the image and the outsides of the image. So if you can match the background of the image, you only have to do the image, and the whole image will come right out at you, because the whole background won't be the same color anymore. 21 minutes, off to Rubik's Cube. Going to have a cigarette and something to drink. I showed you my cat food. I showed you this. Oh, hold on a second. I found these today. They don't fit. They don't fit. What do I do? What do I do? I found these glasses. I don't want to throw them out. Tell me how I look. I want to know. Am I okay? Maybe I should come out like this. Hello, I am Preacher Raphael. I come here to tell you the story about the world. How creation came to be. How come they have chosen me to do this? Why am I one of the rare human beings and designed the way I am? Well, I am too a robot, and I can talk to you. You are a designed robot living in a human skin. We have let you live for your first 40 years before we turned the wiring back up. Now your wiring is reconnected in the heavens. We give you the freedom of living in both worlds. But watch out, because when you bring the other unaware world down to this world, it is very dangerous. Man is a bear. Man comes from the dogs. He lives in the cat house. He has lines all over him from the correctional center. He shows his black hair, but the true gray and silver comes out, the silver lining under all. The time has come to speak. Saturday, day 1A. Sunday, day 1B. Monday, day 1. Day 2. No, it would be day 1A again. That's why they're on the first level. Monday and Saturday are the first day, because Saturday is the first day after man's day, okay? And Sunday is beta day, okay? So it would actually be AB day, but it would be ABC day, because the first day, that's not a prayer day, which is the Monday that we go to work day, that would be actually the first day of the week, because the Sunday would be the beta day. So then Tuesday would be the second beta day. That's right. So Wednesday would be actually the second day after Monday, and Wednesday we would go together as day 1 and 2 for the week. 1, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in which Wednesday on Rosh Hashanah, is it Yom Kippur, the first part of the holidays. We don't go to shul on that day. There's never been a shul date on that Wednesday or the Friday. So they're respecting the Wednesday for a reason. It's the sharing of the week between the one full day for God, nothing to beta, maybe very little. Man gives it to God, that's why beta doesn't have to be there. Then we give beta her one day, which is Sunday. Then we go 3 days. We give God a day on Wednesday, but it's a split day between 2 parts of the week. So beta gets to get the same day Wednesday, but she also gets Thursday, the day of thirst. So listen, I didn't start putting these together, and I know it's complicated because I'm figuring out as I'm talking to you. This is the way it is. I learn like that. Now, is it true? Hypothesis? What do I believe? What do you believe? Is that what it's all about? Or should I just tell you a story and not tell you what's inside of me? Because then I would be hiding the whole truth. By you seeing inside of me, you can tell me more about what the story is all about, whether the interest is the same because of the way I think. Maybe I'm running a short arrow. What does it mean, a short arrow? When the arrow is short, the point won't pick. If the point don't pick, you got no porcupine. Porcupine is a 1661 creation, which is the one spirit of man connecting to the one spirit of man. 7, 7. 14 equals 5. 1 and 4 is 5. Letter E, electronic world transformation exchange of speech and understanding, the difference between two. Doesn't matter who the two are. It could be the two empty spots on your shoulder here you don't see. But if you had some lumber, you can carry it on your shoulders. Right? Take care. Africa, oh my God. If the bananas, it's crazy. I did a design today full of bananas. Full of bananas. Chiquita bananas. Oh my God. Crazy. Yeah, African, just because they can carry the fruit on their head, okay, they have multiple spirit in them, because carrying that fruit represents the hat of the king and the jack, the same hat, and it opens up this way and you can put fruit in it. And this is on an angle, so they can put this on an angle on the top, making the shape of a diamond again. Everything is a diamond effect. You ever go bowling? They line it up like a diamond. But it's a part of a diamond, but it's a square, but it's a diamond. But it's a square, but it's a diamond. Does it really matter if it's what kind of diamond it is? Oh my God, I got a diamond, but it's small. I got a diamond, but it's big. I got a diamond, but it's blue. I got a diamond, but it's old. I got a diamond, I wish it was new. I had enough time, but now I'm through. Take care, everybody. Raphael, 7286. In the 6 days of man, this is what it's all about. We await the 7th day to come, but like I said, there is no 7th day. After 6, it's day 1 again. Do you know what 7th day means? The 7th day, the only time a 7th day can come is when a 7th day enters into our world. That means the other world, okay, not represented by Beta, comes in. He adds the extra spirit thought. Now you have a 7 in this world. So if God shows up, that's day 7, my friends. Everything after that is going to be brand new. History books, dictionaries, everything. Once God comes down and puts one foot on this ground, the whole world changes. And oh my God, what do we do first? Do we sell stuff about God? Or are we supposed to sell stuff about God? At the beginning, we'll start to follow in His path, and then eventually we'll step outside the path, and God will be gone, and 200 years will pass, and then it's only what my kids spoke about and my grandfather spoke about, and then it's 500 years past, and now it's 1,000 years past, and I had enough. I can't stand my neighbor. What do? God says don't do this or this. But God also said if He's in your way. So I find a reason to find out that He's in my way. Now I push Him out of the way, and He pushes me back. Oh my God, I'm fighting with my neighbor. As war begins, one more time. In Europe, early France, 1400s. Why the 1400s? Because 1 and 4 is 5. It's a neutralization point when the energies come in, and everybody wants more. That's the way it works. You know, when the feed comes into the feeder, all the pigs run out. They eat like pigs, and if they see more feed, they'll still run to get the feed. They're not hungry anymore. We're pigs. You know what I'm saying? But the 2 nostrils of the pig, those are basically like the breathers. I'm not going to explain that now, but have you ever looked in the sand? And I've seen this 100 times, and it never made sense. But those little dots your toes make in the sand, those are combinations. Okay? You ever see what this hand does? Look at the thumb. This thumb sits up on every little finger. The pinky can sit on the top, right? But it's better if the pinky goes under the thumb, holding it closed, because it's not a powerful finger. These last 2 fingers, okay, they sit right basically under the skin on one, the power finger, and this one over here, as the 4th finger, sits right on the thumb, connecting 4 to 1 on this angle, okay? Now that's part of a Y angle. Do you want me to show you that angle now? I'm going to just show you why. what that's all about. And this is more or less like a fireplace, you know, and this is what happens when this takes over. I'm going to try and design this over here. This is what happens, okay, is you see 2 takes over from 1. So the passage, instead of being the passage here, the passage is now here. You come to the road over here where it divides. You see, number 11, 2 sides of a tunneling pipe. And it divides, and beta takes over, creation of the 7 islands, of the 9 positions, 7 islands and 9 positions, 7 islands, 9 positions, 9 times 7, 63 moons on Jupiter. No moons on Venus and Mercury. They use Earth's moon. They're direct with the sun. It's a power up. 1, 2, 3, everything goes through the Son of God. You don't think the Son of God is everywhere? That Son of God, he's come up, and the Son of God is a transformation of the energy, the waters that come out of the sky. The rainbow that lights up is the energies that infiltrate into this system. So now you see that. Now I'm going to show you why I told you what I did. Look what I did inside. Inside the Y, I now showed you the piping. See, now it shows you the other kind of Y. Now, okay, I added that V part because that'll close in. That must close in, okay, to keep the strength on the 2 sides, or it's left open. But there is no passage there, okay, because the passage has been divided and nothing goes there. So it's like a stop. It's a stop of life, and there's a line on top, and it says 5,000. 5,000 means 10, 10, 10 of the 5 position, 50,000. Now what I'm going to show you next on top of this is oh yes. Now, the reason you have this, okay, is the question of the flow, okay, because up here, okay, this side and this side are connected, and there's a flow of this is a negative energy flow over here. Okay, there's more to this than this. I didn't finish the design because there's 4 of these. There has to be 4 of these. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 over here. And then you'll see this line in the center will end up making a diamond. And it's the flow of man, because man lives on the inside of it all. I want to ask you a question. If you're on the other side of Pluto, you're on the other side of Pluto. We're always on the other side of something. No? Or we're on top of it. Okay, now just tell me anything in the world. What's on the other side? Something's on the other side. Regardless of what it is, the other side is the other side. And as far as you have to go to the other side, it is. And everything goes around, which tells us a question about our universe. Whatever goes around, comes around. So our universe is constantly moving. You see, that's the thing. Now, it's really weird because I haven't gone into this yet. But I did promise you, I'm going to do a video on maybe the snowflake, and that's also a start of the snowflake. What I did is I put the candelabra, I decided to design a firm shape. Because you don't see the outline of everything, you only see that. Look how many lines you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines just here. So you're asking why the snowflake has how many lines? Because there's just 5 right here. And I'm not even finished putting in the rainbow. That's why a snowflake ends up having, as it comes down, it passes through. And you know, do you see the snowflake come down like this? It's coming down to the ground, the snowflake, because it's passing through the matrix. And it's its only way down, or it's dripping it off. And then it comes freezing rain and frozen rain, because that's the way the matrix is right now. And if it hits a certain part, it's going to freeze in the matrix. That's the way the world goes around. Goes around, goes around, goes around, 7286. Did you have that glass of water yet? Well, what you doing? Get right up and go get that glass of water. You want a little moonshine? You want a little sun ray? The brightest star is the sun? Or is it the closest because it's the brightest? Or is God's sun the brightest sun in the world? And who is God's sun, and how do we recommend what God's sun is? Well, guess what? We all get the reflection of the sun inside of us. It's the light, the way it penetrates. It's what we do inside of our mind is how great and how bright one of God's sons will be, because we are all the sons of God. Even the women are the sons of God. Why? Well, the passage of the Spirit, okay? Spirit, okay, and soul is S and S. So it's 20/20. So you got the four angles. It's man and woman, okay? But man means an expression of 4 and 6, okay, which means he can do both sides. But female is not 4 and 6. She doesn't work that way. She's 9 and 2. Oh, she's got other numbers too, but she's 9 and 2. She's 11. And man, he needs that spirit, so he becomes 11. And again, standing up in life, man 4/6 equals 11, woman 2/8 equals 11. Because one is the beta way, one is God's way. 10/10. Thank you very much.